Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian from the Association of the United States Army's annual conference and trade show in Washington, D.C., and we have with us John Bryant, who is the president of Oshkosh Defense. John, thanks for meeting with us.
Vago, great to see you again.
You guys had a very, very successful run of victories. You're now in the execution portion. Bring us up to speed on where you are on some of your most important programs and also what you're showcasing here at the show.
Sure. What you see behind me is the Oshkosh Joint Light Tactical Vehicle. And, of course, we won the LRIP and full-rate production contract for JLTV. So now, just this month, we've delivered our first LRIP vehicles to the government. We'll continue to ramp up LRIP deliveries, and we're foreseeing about 750 vehicles this year. We're excited about that. These vehicles will be entering a very significant, robust government testing period over about the next year, year and a half, all leading up to a multi-service operational test and evaluation to feed a full-rate production decision in the first quarter of 19.
And when you guys go to full-rate production, how many vehicles are you going to be delivering on an annual basis?
If you look at the president's budget right now, and if you look out over the FIDIP, the program ramps up to a few thousand vehicles a year, never really stressing Oshkosh's production capabilities when you compare that to the 1,000 a month we were doing for MATV under our urgent needs requirement.
That's just an extraordinary production rate when you think about it, and what everybody was able to achieve just a few years ago, and obviously driving an adjustment for everybody on the way out of that. As you look at the marketplace, where are the areas where you guys want to grow? Where are the areas you guys want to expand? Again, you guys had some great wins, but how are you going to build on it, including in the international space?
Sure. Well, JLTV itself represents a growth area. That was Oshkosh's first success in the light tactical vehicle market. JLTV will represent an increasing portion of Oshkosh Defense's revenue for the next few years. It'll be a growing base for revenue. We expect U.S. Army medium and heavy business to remain relatively stable. But we also see growth internationally, particularly for our MATV platform. Right now, we're executing a large order for a Middle Eastern customer of over 1,000 MATVs, and we see more and similar opportunities in the future. As you look out sometime around fiscal year 19, when the U.S. government achieves full-rate production on JLTV, then we see a number of international opportunities for JLTV itself.
Have you had any guys calling and asking you guys for information on it?
We've had actually a lot of guys calling, but it's been our fault because we've been actively marketing both MATV and JLTV here in the U.S. and overseas. We had JLTV at Eurosatory, we had it at DVD, we've done a number of overseas demonstrations. So pretty much all of the customers, all the tactical wheel vehicle customers who are seeking high levels of protection and mobility in a small package, they're all interested in JLTV.
There's a question out there whether or not innovation pays off. There are some folks who are saying, well, look at the Textron example. They invested heavily in developing a Scorpion, but the government hasn't bought that yet, and other examples. Do you think that there is a payoff to investing in this business?
We believe very strongly that innovation is key to success in this business, and in the fiercely competitive U.S. defense market in particular, if you don't innovate, you lose. We innovated on JLTV. If you look at JLTV right now, our TAC-4I independent suspension, developed by Oshkosh on Oshkosh nickel, was key to our winning the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle program. That wouldn't have been a program that somebody could have won without both innovation and investment. Obviously, there's a mathematics involved in determining how much to invest in a given program, and depending on, I say, a given opportunity, and depending on what the government's intellectual property strategy is around that program, it could change the math on how much is the investment worth. what does the program or the opportunity rate in terms of investment? So we have to do it. We are committed to doing it, and for Oshkosh, it's been key to winning.
Let me ask you, you have a unique background. You were a Marine. You were in the acquisition corps. You were also an instructor, senior instructor at the Defense Acquisition University. As you look at, for example, some of the Goldwater-Nichols changes that Senator McCain is recommending, what do you think are, as much as you're willing to comment on it, what do you think of some of those suggestions? But more broadly, what are the keys to success, you think, in efficient, successful acquisition programs now that you're sitting on this side?
Yeah, I won't comment on the specific recommendations themselves. I'll step back and make a couple of observations. From my many years' experience in defense acquisition, I have seen the pendulum go back and forth with variation in the magnitude, intrusiveness of oversight, for example. The one thing I believe that I've seen is that success or failure of defense acquisition programs tends to be relatively insensitive to the magnitude or intrusiveness of oversight. In my experience, I believe that really the key to the key to successful defense acquisition programs is setting them up properly from the start. Making sure we have a solid match between the technology available, the resources available, and the requirement. Those three all must converge at the start of a program. If there's any kind of mismatch, if there's wishful thinking on what capabilities can be delivered, if there's wishful thinking on the cost targets that can be achieved, if there's non-obtainium in the technology, the program is likely to engage in a number of do loops over time.
Sir, thanks very much and best of luck.
Thank you, sir.